Okay, this is lesson 5 in Module B, and you can see I've already got it outlined for you. That's one of the first steps. I went ahead and filled in these dark areas. The way I did that is I did a transparent coat of black, and then I think it was 3 coats of our blue mixture, because it's transparent also, so we put the black down so that we wouldn't have to do 5 or 6 coats. One thing to remember too, I made these all in pretty much thin outlines, but such as these houses, these two, this house and this house, are on the same plane behind the house with the tower. So when we get to doing our shading to make this go from a one-dimensional line drawing into something that looks like a round tower, then we're going to need to remember to shade it that way so that this one comes out. One of the things that we're learning in this lesson is about, let me show you one I've got finished, is about things being on different planes. And as you can see, this house comes out in front of these two. Then we have the mountains in the background, we have some foliage in the background. We have 3 boats on 3 different levels. This one is on the first plane, this was on the second plane, and this one's on the third plane. It is in front of the windmill, but it's on the same plane. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is wash the sky on. And I've got my mix, my blue mix in here, and I've got a 4 fan brush. Now, I'm not really good at this technique. I've tried it twice. This will be the 3rd time. So, good luck with it. I think it's just me. I'm not really good with washes anyway, to begin with. So, I'm going to just kind of make a little watery puddle here and work it into this brush. Also going to put some glaze on, because that helps me, because the reason I have so much trouble with washes is because it's too watery and I just lose control of it. So if you put a little glaze into your wash, then it puts some of that glue back in that you've lost by being watery. So, a little more transparent. And then our directions, I'm going to push this underneath the camera. Our directions tell us to moisten this sky area with water. I'm going to do that, but I'm also going to do it with a little bit of extender, because extender helps me. I have more control, better control over extender than I do water. So whatever works for you, actually. I'm doing this on a tile. I painted it on a wood box and also on a wooden basket lid first to practice. And now I'm going to do it on the tile. This tile, you have to be a little bit more careful with. I've let it cure for about 3 or 4 weeks actually, but I still have a little bit of a problem. The other day I lifted something when I was trying to outline, and I got it out into an area I didn't need to, and when I tried to remove it, I was a little bit too hard at doing that, and I lifted a spot, so I had to try and fix it with a blue and white mix. It didn't quite mix, but there's going to be some detail lines there later, so hopefully it'll just kind of fade away. Okay, directions say to start at the left and slide right, so it's going to be this way, and it's very light. Hold the end of the brush and just make barely tickle it, barely touch it. It's going to be a very light movement. And I've probably pussed with it too much, but there it is. Okay. We're also, I'm going to need a little more water. Need to wet this up a little bit again. We're going to, let me try and put just a little more into this sky. Little movement. And then we're going to wash on the mountains, and that's also going to be very light. Come around here and get this one. Now, I did not outline the mountains because actually when you're doing this you can just wash right over those boat sails and the tower, because we're going to do more things with them and it won't show later. But I didn't outline the tops and edges of these mountains. A little later I'm going to side load in there to give them some definition. But we don't want to outline them because they are in the back. They're in the distance and we have to get our atmospheric perspective in there. Okay, and let's see. We're going to, let me get a little bit into these trees here. A little bit of this foliage. Get some movement in that. It's going to kind of pounce around a little bit. The illusion of leaves. Okay. There's some foliage here and we'll go and put that in later on. Alright, I'm going to rinse my